Hey, Chris here with Psyched Climbing. So today I want to talk to you about split tips, or let's say you've been working something and your fingers are destroyed, but you still want to climb so bad, or maybe you're on a trip and you busted open your fingers on the first day or so, and you don't want the trip to go to waste, but you can't climb on your tips. I'm going to give you a little bit of advice here on what has worked for me. I'm not a physician or anything like that, but over the years, trial and error, this is what I've learned works. So you need a couple tools. I like this manicure wheel. Actually, it's a pedicure wheel, I think. But any type of sandpaper or sand block will work. And crazy glue, it's kind of the glue of choice for climbers. Also have some liquid bandage or new skin, tape, and pink fingernail clippers. You have to get pink. Just kidding. And we're going to do some hand repair right now. Alright, so what you're going to want to do with these clippers, you can also use some smaller scissors if you want, but a lot of times you'll have a lot of dead skin from wherever you broke through or got a flapper or whatever. You just want to snip all that stuff down as close as you can get to the initial wound. See here, we've already cut it down. The next thing you want to do is use your sanding pad, and we can just kind of sand those down. We've already done that. They're pretty smooth. And we just want to prepare like a nice surface that's ready to be more uniform and even, and not bumpy or jagged or uneven, because that's just going to peel it all off. Now if you look at this one is healed up really nicely. So what we're going to do with this one first is put some crazy glue on it, and because it's closed open, I'm not so worried about the acrylate or whatever the carcinogen causing elements are in crazy glue, because she's sealed off here. So it's going to create a nice layer and some extra skin for her to be able to climb today. And we're just going to make a nice, really thin, even layer to cover that up and sort of go out a little bit beyond the wound. And that's it. You just need one layer. And we're just going to let that dry. This one, as you can see, still has a little bit of a split in it. And for me, I'm just a little more paranoid with the cyanide or acrylate, whatever it's called, getting in there. And so we're going to use liquid bandage or new skin on this one. And again, it's the same thing. You don't want to get a ton on there. We're just trying to do a little, just enough so she can keep climbing. But we're also going to bandage this one up, and I'm going to show you how in a second here. So you just got to get all the drops off. You don't want it dripping on there, otherwise you're going to have to start all over, and you want to give this a good 20 minutes to dry and seal. And it'll be worth it, because then you get to climb. We're just going to fill this gap in here and make it more of a uniform surface. All right. Now I don't like to let it dry completely. I like it so it's just a little bit sticky, but it's maybe more dried underneath. Next, you're going to take your tape and you're going to do a really fine strip here, which allows for more flexibility, I think. Get about that long, and I'll snip it off. Like to touch the tape as little as possible, since it's sticky and sort of limited on the glue there. And then see how it still hasn't completely dried? That's exactly where I want it, because I want it to cling to this tape as well. And I'm going to start down below it and get a nice sort of outline of tape that'll help reinforce the rest of it. And you don't want it super tight, because this is going to be on all day, but you do want it snug for sure. and slightly overlapping. And like I said, this allows for a little bit greater flexibility on the tip there without sacrificing the tape or pulling the whole thing off. And that's probably good. Just kind of smooth it out, make sure all the glue in the tape is doing the best that it can. And now that the new skin is covering up that wound, as well as the tape, we're going to make sure this doesn't come off. It's an extra layer of crazy glue. And you can, you don't want a ton on, but you can kind of be a little more liberal with it. Alright, and the tip can be a little problematic. You really don't want, you know, I see the glue going in there, but you also kind of want to get it to go as close to the surface as possible. And I'll put a little crazy glue under there to fill the gap if I have to. Now I don't want it coming off at all on the back either, so I'm just going to kind of go to town back here as well. And after you've climbed on it all day, you can hop in the shower, just get your skin wet, and should be able to gingerly come off. But we just want this to stay because we're going to climb hard. Do some 6-sending. And then just let it dry. Give it about 20 minutes. You're good to go, my friends.